Kromka. Today we're going to be talking about how you take your stances in our style of karate. So we have today Jordan and John. They're two of my senior instructors, and they're going to be assisting and demonstrating this. So first we'll have Jordan demonstrate how you take what is called a natural stance. So John, you want to get in frame so you can see Jordan? Turn so you can get the camera. So you take a step with your right foot forward and drop down on your left knee to measure the length. Now you line up your left knee with the toes of the toes of your front foot. Okay, and stand up. Okay. This is the correct length. Now we have a problem with width. All right? Why don't you face the camera, dude? Okay. So to keep your balance, it's best to have the feet equal, as far apart as your hip joints. And that gives you balance. The second part that assists with balance is triangulation of your stance with the rear foot turning out 45 degrees gives you a stable base. If feet were parallel, it would be a shaky stance. So you learn to take this stance with a rear foot turned out to make a triangulation, and it helps give stabilization. Stepping forward is different in karate than on the street. In karate, we land with our toes because we want to stabilize our stance, and the rear foot rotates out as the body passes over. He takes a step, the rear foot rotates, and the body passes over. One more time. All the while, he's maintaining width in his hips. If you let your stance get narrow, which is a tendency, you'll start finding your balance is suffering. All right, thank you, Jordan. Hey, John? You step out with the right foot, drop down on your knee to measure the distance, add the length of your fist, and that should line up with your heel. And now you stand up, and bend your front knee so that it is above your big toe. This way it gives you leverage on the floor to step forward. You have thrusting power because the knee is ahead of the ankle, and you can push forward. The stance width is the same as we talked about before, the width of your hip joints. Right? To move, there we go, thank you. To move forward on this stance, you have to apply pressure with the front knee and foot to thrust yourself forward. So he begins to step forward, keeping the same level, and then finishes off in the same stance in which he started. Okay. There's a tendency when we learn the stance to begin to rise and fall, which is not the way you want to do it. It diffuses the power of the movement. So you want to stay dead level. Go ahead and step forward again. And notice that the rear foot also is triangulated. It rotates out 45 degrees as the body passes over it to maintain stability. All right, thank you, John. Lastly, we have cat stance. Jordan. All right. Cat stance length, same length as natural stance. All right, measure it the same way. All right. And difference in cat stance is that we turn our shoulders 45 degrees. So this cuts down the width of the stance. Okay. If you face the camera for a moment and take natural stance, all right, with the correct width, then turn your body 45 degrees. The foot's going to float in to a little more narrow position. Okay. Stepping forward in cat stance is different than the other stances because you have to approach in a shuffling motion with the front foot. Roll up, heel hits, and roll up to toe. Heel hits, roll up to toe. Cat stance is very good for evasive maneuvers and quick kicking because the weight is off of the front foot. Right? And you have strong thrusting power with the back leg to advance into the next step. Very good. Thank you, Jordan. All right, this is our 3 basic steps. Thank you for watching.